Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess. Now, if you're just joining us, we're talking about Swizz Beatz. He did an interview with US Weekly, and he was talking about his relationship with his wife. They've been married 15 years, and he says it's a healthy marriage. And he said what keeps it so healthy is, he said, first, they don't yell at each other. And they said, we've never had an argument. So that is the question, 800-585-1051. Have you never had an argument with your spouse? I can't say that's true for me. Me and my wife have argued. You know, we argue. I mean, it doesn't get to the point where we're yelling and screaming and kicking, but we do argue. You know, we disagree and we have arguments.
It's impossible. I mean, listen, I don't salute to Swizz and Alicia, respect to them if they don't argue, but I think that, you know, I can't, that is not my household. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we have very healthy debates. We have arguments. We got 4 kids. Different parenting styles, I guess, right?
Yes.
But, you know, we try to come on one accord to have one solid parenting style. But, yeah, there's going to always be things that you know, argue about. That don't make it unhealthy. That don't mean you got a bad relationship. It's just that, you know, that mean that you live with a person.
Yeah, and like I said, I've been with my wife 31 years. We've been married 23. We argue. Like, there's things like you said, like I might, you know, discipline my children this way or talk to my children this way. She does it this way, and we go back and forth. It ain't, like I said, it ain't to the point where we yelling and screaming and she's sleeping in another room. No, we have disagreements.
No, and sometimes you do have to tell the wife that don't talk to me like I'm your child.
I know your wife be getting with you. You
all
are
the time,
annoying.
all the time. But I think sometimes, you know, women, you know, especially when they have a lot of kids, they're used to talking a certain way, and men can be immature at times, so we get spoken to in that way. And sometimes you just have to remind them, I am not your child.
Envy, you get spoken to. You have to tell Gia that.
I've had to a couple of times. I'm not your child. Absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, but I'm here with y'all every day. I kind of feel for your wives.
No, you should feel for us. Okay, that's what you should feel for.
You should feel for
but
us.
really, I mean, listen. Once again, respect to Swizz and Alicia. If they don't argue, God bless. I don't know if that's realistic. I really don't. Even with the most healthiest, healed couples, I don't know if that's realistic for you to never argue.
Never, nothing? Like y'all agree on everything? Is never a disagreement?
Yeah, I don't know.
Hello, who's this?
Yo, this is Grant Michaels, the author.
Hey, what's up, Grant Michaels, the author? Talk to us.
Man, what's happening, man? Y'all can't be serious, man. Like, me and my wife been married for 12 years. We've been together for 15. We've never had an argument. I'm never saying we don't disagree, but we have never had an argument like this. That's my home. That's my place of peace, my sanctuary. Like, why the hell would I want to bring discourse and immaturity into it?
Well, God bless for all of you. Y'all way more healed than me and my household then. Or maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the problem.
You know what I'm saying? We live in Columbia, South Carolina. She's from Allendale. Charlamagne, you know about Allendale.
Yeah, I was in the Mack Monday.
I ain't trying to get nothing. Oh, that's what's up, man. I ain't trying to get cut. So that's how I started initially. But, you know what I'm saying? As we grew, it just became the norm. Like, like as a black man, we got so much shit going on in the world. Like, why do I have to come home to further foolishness? You feel me?
So you never had a heated argument or disagreement with your wife?
All my life, never.
God bless my
bless
brother.
you,
I need to get to where you at.
They said never yelled, never had a heated argument. Their kids have never seen them cuss at each other.
I don't know. I don't believe that. Salute to everybody in the Metro, too, the 803 Hot 1039. That's the station we on out there.
Hello, who's this?
You with shaking bacon.
What's shaking
I don't
bacon?
no pork on my fork, sir.
What's up,
No
bro?
no pork. So first, Envy, I want to say, what's up, Envy? I met you before. I was EP on Styles' 22 Convict when we did the video down in Slate down in the city.
Okay.
When you was there with Yee, we did the video there. And now to the topic, I do believe that you can be in a marriage and not argue with a woman, right? Because nowadays, when you say argument, the first thing people think about is somebody blowing a gasket. You know, you start arguing, you're screaming at each other, but there's a difference between arguing and having a solid, strong discussions. I've been with my woman 8 years, and we don't argue. We just have a real solid, in-depth conversation to kind of get our point across. I think if you can get your point across that way, I think you don't need to argue with people. So I believe that he can be in a marriage, especially while they look like two low keys, down to earth people that you can sit and speak to.
Man,
Why would it be so hard to believe that?
Let me look up what's the definition of argument.
I just looked up an argument. It says, that's what I just did. It says opposing views, typically a heated or angry
But the fact that you
disagreement.
got to go into it, the fact that you got to Google that to see what it is because when you think of argument, that's exactly what comes up into your head. It's like an argument, like you screaming, your volume's at a 10.
Well, no, it says an argument is an exchange of diverging or opposite views, typically a heated or angry one.
What Swizz is saying is that they disagree, but it doesn't get heated.
But
like they don't allow it to get heated.
But an argument is back and forth. Like I had an argument with my dad the other day, right? We weren't yelling and screaming, but he had a view about something, I had a view about something, and it was heated. But after we laughed it off and kept it moving, but it was an argument.
Well, he said they do disagree, but their communication styles doesn't allow for it to get to level 10.
What is level 10?
Well, he didn't actually say level 10. I said level 10, but he's
saying...
No,
I'm saying, but that's what I mean. What is level 10?
I think it's all the screaming, the yelling, the cussing. Like he said that their kids have never seen them yell at each other, cuss at each other, those type of things.
Oh, no, that ain't God bless Wisdom. That ain't my house.
31 years.
I ain't going to sit there and tell you no.
Yeah,
I'm not about to sit there and tell y'all no lie like that.
What's the last word you've been called, Envy?
Nah, we don't call each other names now. But you got to think, I've been with my wife since 16. You're like, we've argued, we've yelled, we've screamed. Like, we've been there. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Sometimes my 9-year-old will tell us to stop yelling at each other, and we both say, we not yelling.
We're not yelling.
We're not yelling at each other because we don't be. But, I guess any back and forth between parents looks like an argument to kids. I don't know.
800-585-1051. We were talking about Swizz Beatz and his wife, Alicia Keys. Shout out to Swizz and Alicia. They said they have never argued after 15 years of marriage. Let's discuss. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. If you're just joining us, we're talking about Swizzy. He did a recent interview with US Weekly, and we're talking about his marriage with Alicia Keys, and he says the happy wife, happy life is true. He says him and his wife have never argued. He says communication is everything. He says they do not yell at each other. We would ask Lauren, but she has no research with that one.
She's argued with a man before, though.
Yeah, I be laying y'all out because y'all be stupid. Okay.
I actually heard that's... Never mind.
You actually heard what?
Nothing.
You ain't heard nothing.
No, I do be getting DMs about you, and I'm not going to lie. This one dude did say that's why he had to leave you. I'm not going to front.
No one's ever left me.
Well, whatever. He said y'all broke up. He said y'all broke up
me.
because he said you don't listen. He said you overtalk people. He said you never know when to leave. What else did he say?
Oh, this sounds familiar. This sounds familiar.
Let's go to the phone lines. Hello, who's this?
What's good? This is Dre from Detroit.
Dre, what up, Doe? So, Dre, you married?
Man, 7 years, bro.
And you have never argued with your spouse?
Man, never had a serious argument with my wife, man.
Really?
Never. Now, I do get them to a certain point, but it's stuff like, it's little stuff. It's not even an argument, man. It's like, I probably tell her something like, babe, you working too hard, you need to chill today, and it'll be a boy, I can do what I want, I'm grown. Like, but never nothing real.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah, man.
God bless y'all, man. God bless y'all and y'all perfect marriages. Then I don't have one of those. We argue.
Hello, who's this?
Paco.
Paco, what's up? You don't argue in your relationship, Paco?
Oh yeah, we argue a lot, man. I've been with my wife about 10 years.
Paco, I'm about to argue with you right now if you don't take us off Bluetooth or speaker, Paco.
All right. I was on the truck driving. I was like, yeah, man, my wife, we've been married about, my bad, about 20 years now. And we argue together, but sometimes it be about petty stuff, like I'm cooking all the time, my spaghetti. She might not like sugar in hers, so now we, sugar in my... At nighttime, I be asleep, she wake me up. I'm hot. I be
Paco,
like,
your phone sound crazy.
Cold. So we
gotta let Paco go. Hello, who's this?
Good morning, this is Bill.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, Charlamagne.
Please, King.
Good morning.
We're talking about arguing with your spouse. You've never argued with your spouse?
Of course I have. I've been married for 10 years, and it's virtually impossible. At first I was saying, let me stay out of rich people's business. But when you look at the meaning of argue, it means to persuade of an idea. So I think people think arguing is fighting. And even that's a stretch. When you've been married to a woman, emotions, we think differently. So I think he's tripping off that. If he has an idea, he can teach us. I want to know.
That's what I want to know, too. Show me the way.
Hello, who's this?
What's up? It's Sharif from California.
Hey, what's up, brother? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. It's 4 a.m. over here.
Oh, boy. So have you never argued with your wife, or you up right now because you just finished arguing?
No. We don't argue because you get to a point where you've been through so much toxic stuff in your life, you just find somebody who can coast with. You feel me?
Yeah, but there's still things that you gotta, you disagree with each other on. You don't agree on everything.
Well, I feel like disagreeing and arguing is like, you could disagree and it could be a nice conversation, and arguing just outright screaming. We don't do all that.
Okay. Yeah, it's not no screaming.
Yeah.
But you can have a heated disagreement.
Yeah, I feel that, but when I'm 34 and y'all my uncles, I haven't got to y'all stage yet, but I just feel like at this age I'm not into the screaming and long conversations. It's just we get to a point where how can I say it? You come to an agreement like, okay, I understand what you're saying or what you're seeing.
You know what I'm thinking? Thank you for calling. You know what I was thinking? Do people have elaborate conversations with their spouses, right? Because
elaborate conversations.
What I mean by that is, like, let's say when you're talking about politics, me and my wife will talk about politics, but it won't just be. It will be politics from many different sides. What if this? What if that? Well, what if this happened? Well, what if that happened? Would you look at it different ways? And that creates conversation, that creates arguments and disagreements.
No, the most things me and my wife, majority of the thing that me and my wife argue about is something to do with the kids. It's literally just family stuff because you have two different parenting styles, and it's not heated. We're not yelling and screaming, but it can be intense just because we are both passionate people, but it's not. I don't believe none of y'all saying y'all don't argue with your spouses. That's the moral of the story.
I feel like it's healthy to argue. I don't mean scream, yell, cuss, but I do think you gotta get out. Like you gotta voice how you feel. Like you gotta come to head a couple times. Like it happens.
Yes. And if you have a conversation with your wife, if you say, yo, me and you about to have a conversation, or my wife says, oh, we need to talk. Oh, Lord. That's going to be some type of argument.
Oh, my God. I love dropping the we need to talk.
I hate that.
Lord,
we need to talk. That's going to take 3 hours.
Now,
I love it.
We need to talk and go two ways. We need to talk and turn into an argument, or we need to talk and turn into, you know what? I'm completely picking up what you're putting down. One of the two. There's no in between what we need to talk. There isn't.
So what was the last time you got into arguing about? Do you remember?
I can't remember. Maybe yesterday. I don't know.
Yeah, mine was yesterday too. I took the car key and she couldn't get the car seat out, and she was mad because she couldn't take the baby to school because she couldn't have a car seat. And we got to talking about
it.
Yesterday, that was stupid though. Emmy,
it was stupid, but I didn't do it on purpose. But we argued. She was like, "Yo, I told you put the key back where it's supposed to be," and I'm like, "I forgot. You always forget." We got to talk about it.
Yeah, little tit for tats like that.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yesterday was an argument, but it wasn't. Actually, I was completely right yesterday, so it wasn't really even an argument.
What would you write about?
I was completely right.
But when you right, don't it feel so good?
Right.
Don't it feel
but she
so
knew
good?
I was right too, because it was a thing that concerned the whole house, and I was hot about it a little bit because of something that happened, and she knew she was absolutely right. In fact, she went to go handle it.
Okay.
She went to go handle it before I could even. Once I said what I said, she went to go handle it because she knew what it was. She knew I was right.
Because period, girls run the world, and they probably always right in them arguments.
My wife is the CEO of the house, but employees can't argue with the CEO. I can't go live. I can't go live and put her on blast. You know what I'm saying?
I want to do it one time.
Right?
Just put my little do rag on it. Right. Nah, it's not gonna last.
No, it's not, because the minute you hit live and hear that name, she's coming upstairs, and that phone might not make it.
You right. Well, what's the moral of the story, Lauren? Never mind. Charlamagne, what's the moral of the story?
No moral.
I don't think there's anything wrong with having healthy disagreements with your spouse. God bless everybody that's never had an argument with their wife or their husband. I don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? In fact, there's they say couples in healthy relationships can argue, have different opinions. They can get frustrated. Healthy doesn't mean perfect. That's all.
All right. Well, we got the latest with Lauren coming up. What are we talking about?
Yeah, speaking of arguing, Oprah might be arguing in court because of some Russell Simmons accusations and things.
Oh, have mercy.
Yeah, we're going to have a conversation about it.
All right. We'll get to that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.